Thank you, Laurence, and we have a great round table, or a round table that is going to be relatively expeditive, as we say in French, so it's very short. But I'm going to invite to the stage Rémi Gruet of Ocean Energy Europe, Emanuela Clementi of the CMCC, Johnny Johansson, Begonia Perez Gomez, Laila Romero, Dominique Patterson. Thank you so much for being with us. Excuse me if I mispronounce your name. You are allowed to be upset with me when you take the microphone. That is, of course, accepted. We're going to do a very difficult exercise. I'm basically going to ask you a simple question, which is give a testimony about how it was useful, how it helped the growth of your organization and your activity to work thanks to Copernicus Marine, its data, and the partnership. So it's not many questions. It's not a very long expose, but thank you very much for your testimony. Second thing that is a little bit of a guideline, but important, we only have about 15 minutes. There are 6 of you. 2 to 3 minutes per person. I'm going to kind of wave once you get to 2 minutes. And if I very politely interrupt you, please don't take it personally. It is only so that we can continue with this great, rich program. Thank you very much. I'm going to start by asking Dominique Patterson of OSPAR to talk about what it has meant, what it has brought, this partnership with Copernicus Marine and this data. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. So Dominic Patterson, I'm from OSPAR. Just in case people don't know, we're the Regional Sea Convention for the Northeast Atlantic. We're very much at that policy science interface, and we undertake assessments of the state of the marine environment so that we can then take measures to address the pressures that are impacting the marine environment. I was really pleased that you touched on the chlorophyll A example just now, because that was the example that I wanted to touch on. So one of the big threats to the marine environment that we have particularly in the North Sea is eutrophication, nutrient pollution. Understanding the impacts of nutrient pollution is really important. It's a very sensitive issue politically. It's linked to farming and agriculture, and working with Copernicus. So we've been assessing it for a long time through in situ assessments, and now we've been able to enhance those assessments with remote sensing. We've had a long, I think back in 2017, we worked on a project. We've improved those assessments. And the reason it's important is that if we want to put in place measures, if we want to convince the policymakers that they need to change what they're doing, we need the best available evidence. And this helps us give the best available evidence. So it's really important for us. And the experience has been, talking to my experts, really positive. The relationship between making sure that we adapt what Copernicus can do to what we need and vice versa has been a really positive experience. So thank you again for inviting me. I think our relationship will only continue to grow with Copernicus over the years and Mercator. So yeah, really positive and really pleased to have been able to come today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pattinson, and I might say we can applaud him because we're going to go really quickly. So thank you for welcoming his intervention, and may I say you were a fantastic student with regards to timing. You're making the job really easy. Rémi Gruet of Ocean Energy Europe, I would like to ask you the same question. What kind of experience has it been to benefit and work with Copernicus Marine?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So Ocean Energy Europe is a network of global ocean energy professionals, and by ocean energy we mean mostly wave and tidal energy. So we try to generate electricity with the movements of the waves and the tides. And our members are trying to put these machines in the water. So if you like, think of, for tidal you can think of an underwater wind turbine, smaller blades, but essentially same principle. And waves are essentially buoys floating up and down or left to right and generating electricity like this. And when you want to put these machines in the water, what's very important is where you put them, because if you look at a tidal turbine, if you put it only 50 meters on the left or the right, it's going to drastically change the amount of electricity you can generate from it. So the informations we need about the seabed, the bathymetry, the wave profiles, the current speeds in different areas, all of these data that Copernicus generates are essential for us to understand where to put the machines and how the production profile of the electricity is going to look down the line. So when we started partnership with Copernicus, essentially we had about 25% of our members that were already using the data. because most of our members are SMEs, and what SMEs love more than data is free data. So they were very happy with this, and we partnered with Laurence, in fact, to try and see whether more of our members would be interested. And over the courses of a few years, we increased to 55, 60%. I forgot what the actual figure was, but the penetration of people using Copernicus data in our sector, which is a new sector, and they were very happy with it. So I believe we're one of the first sectors Copernicus partnered with, and I think it's been a success and was replicated with other sectors. And the main benefit for us really was access to an invaluable amount of free data for companies that otherwise would struggle to access it. And I'll stop there. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah, don't hesitate to react every single time, because they're not just doing a great job of reflecting the work they've done. They're doing a great job of respecting the guideline I gave them. Laia Romero, thank you very much for being with us. Yes, I wanted to surprise you. Infrastructure, marine data store, you've worked on that at Lobelia Earth. Please excuse me if I've mispronounced either your name or the name of your organization. Talk about your experience with Copernicus Marine.
This one works. So we work on two fronts. One of them is the big data management systems, which is the back end of these viewers and the marine data store that is behind, and also these type of viewers. But then we also use these data and these systems for the production of our own data. So we use it for climate studies, we use it for understanding climate impact events, for reinsurance companies, for engineering firms that are building new infrastructure in many countries. We use this data to train our own models on local data. And yeah, it's been like super useful, and it's a backbone to most of our activities.
A backbone to most of your activities. That is a great sentence. I'm sure that's going to come out in the highlights of this pavilion. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn towards Emanuela Clementi. Same question. Emanuela, the Euro-Mediterranean Center on Climate Change, CMCC. Thank you very much. What could you say about these years of cooperation with the Copernicus Marine and its data provision?
Yes, as CMCC, we are involved since the beginning of the Copernicus Marine Service, because we are leading the Mediterranean forecasting system. We are also producer of the physical component for the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. So our work is on the development, implementation, qualification of the data that we produce, up to the final delivery in an operational framework. So an important step here is the collaboration with the other partners of the consortium, because we always try to provide an homogeneous service within the three different components of our Mediterranean Forecasting Center: the physics, waves, and biochemistry. And thanks to that, I would say that we have also gained a lot of expertise that allowed us to participate in several other projects, collaborating with other partners. And our products in the Mediterranean Sea is, I think, the most downloaded regional numerical products. So we have a lot of users, a lot of applications, downstream services, and that's only providing such a service which is based on reliable, qualified, and timely data that we can have the opportunity to implement such type of applications. Also for coastal coastal forecasting systems that are very useful for local authorities, for my country and for all the countries surrounding the Mediterranean Sea.
Thank you very much, Manuela Clementi, and I'm going to turn towards your neighbor on your left, Begoña Perez Gomez, Puertos del Estado. I'm doing my best with the accent, so once again, sorry about that. Your experience with Copernicus Marine and working with its data and all of its technologies.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I work in Puertos del Estado, which is Ports of Spain. This is the government agency that responds to the Ministry of Transport and Sustainable Mobility in Spain, and we are in charge of implementing the ports policy at governmental level. We have been involved in Copernicus Marine Service also since the beginning. As you can imagine, ports are vital for the national economy. They are key links of the logistics and transport chains. And on the other hand, we are exposed to extreme events. We are exposed to even climate impacts from climate change. So we have been involved over the last 30 years and have invested a lot in ocean observations and forecasting at national level. So since 2003, we started with our first ocean circulation model at national level. We started our collaboration with Mercator, and then through different projects like My Ocean, we were also involved in the Copernicus Marine Service as producers. We have been co-producers of the marine forecasting system for the Iberia, Bay of Biscay, Ireland region until 2022. This work has now been continued by Now Systems, which is a Spanish company. We are also producers of the in-situ TAC component of the Copernicus Marine Service, a relevant component, and where we have been able to share our expertise with the data processing, quality control, and validation. We are leading, for example, the global wave and sea level products based on in-situ data. And we have also regularly contributed to the Ocean Industry Report. And first of all, I would like to say that nowadays we have been able, thanks to Copernicus Marine Service, to develop an advanced early warning system and dashboard with downstream services that are nowadays providing very specific information to the ports, the managers. This is based in the integration of observations, but also more than 100 coastal to port scale models, which provide this very valuable information. For these very local models, we need Copernicus Marine Service forecasting services, providing daily forecasts, very high quality, state-of-the-art models, providing this information with, at the end, allow our port managers, but also other decision makers along the coast in Spain to take informed decisions based on science.
Thank you very much, Begonia Perez Gomez. And last but not least, definitely, Johnny Johansson, I would like you to give a few words. You're at the Nansen Environmental and Remote Sensing Center, the NERSC. Thank you very much. And you'll be the last, but very important testimony on what Copernicus Marine has brought to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So the Nansen Center, we basically are responsible for operating the Arctic modeling and forecasting service within CMAMS. And we do this in partnership with Norwegian institutes like the MET Norway Institute of Marine Research and the Norwegian Polar Institute. But it's clear that this Norwegian node cannot and would not have been able to reach where we are without the ability to be within CMAMS. The CMAMS has been a fantastic door opener for us. And we are very thankful for the ability to having had this sustainable kind of funding from the European Commission to allow us to develop, implement, and provide this service as we can do today. Particularly, I would say that the partnership in CMAMS now, led by Mercator Ocean International, is a great illustration of its strength and its innovation. None of us individually could have done this. We are making us individually much stronger through the partnership in CMAMS. There's one important aspect here, and that is that in doing this partnership, we also, to a large extent, avoid redundancy. And by avoiding redundancy, we are talking more about value for money. And I think this CMAMS illustrates that very well. The high latitude seas and the Arctic is connected to the global oceans and the European seas. And thanks to the way we are integrating all of this into the CMAMS service, there are no borders in the oceans for this service. It's a streamlined service of information from the Med Sea through the European seas into the Norwegian Sea and up into the Arctic Ocean. We would have not been able to do this without this partnership.
Thank you very much. I would like you all to applaud our 6 representatives of these scientific and these business organizations that have worked with Copernicus Marine, benefited from its program.